Hey, guys. Sorry.
Hey, and welcome back to the European 2014 European Championships. Today, it looks like we have Taariq, Hassiem and Alain in round 4. Taariq Hassiem is the South African National Championship, who's playing Spellbooks, and Alain is a French player that has a very strong track record there. Now, we've actually started just a little bit earlier than planned, so we are just going to have a quick chat about what people are playing in the tournament at the moment. We've got a few reports on our written coverage, if you've had a look at it, essentially saying what it is that the national champions are playing today, now that they've brought it out. I would just like to apologise again for the adverts that ran during the last match. That was not meant to happen. It was technical difficulties, and as I said before, if you notice anything like that, again, post it on your forum of choice and we'll find it. With that though, it is fixed issue. There will be no problems with that at all anymore.
We've been promised that there'll be no further issues.
Now, looking at the written coverage, what we've got here, it looks like a lot of the time we do have a lot of Giga.
Yes, that's something that we're seeing. We expected to see a lot of that, and we are seeing quite a significant amount of even the national champions that we have listed here.
We have the Slovakian national champion is playing them. We have the Serbian national champion, who was actually in the last feature match here. We did see him beat Gladiator Beasts in the last round.
Yes.
Also, we are looking at the Israeli national champion, also playing Gear. And at the moment, we only really have one hat, according to the written coverage that they found out of the national champions. Mermail, again, I think is definitely going to be making a massive comeback and coming round.
Yeah, I don't know what the current track records of the people, the national champions that are playing Mermail. I believe is it the UK national champion?
Yeah, the UK national champion, Ben Sherman. He's also playing Mermail, the same deck that you played to actually win the UK national championships. I think at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, he's going 2-1.
Yes, that's correct. He's
going
2-1 at the moment.
He's 2-1 at the moment. So we could still see him perhaps in a ball match later, or if he carries on winning all of his games to go now, we'll definitely see him in tomorrow.
So there's plenty of you Mermail fanatics out there who just can't get enough of the deck.
Now, there has been a few light swans that have been piloted around at the moment, and that's probably due to the fact that they've got quite a bit of extra support.
The new deck just came out. The number of times people come up to me asking, where can I get the Realm of Light deck? I really want to play this deck. Yesterday was just so many times, so many people very happy to see those new Light Swan cards finally released in the TCG. And the deck is expected to do really good things.
Definitely. Looking down the list here, more Giga. And we're also seeing a Medolce deck. Luke Smythe, who won the Irish Nationals. He is playing Medolce today. Looking at it, it does look like we have...
Our match is about to start, yes.
Match has started.
Okay, I can give you Taariq, his hand. If just one guys want to take a look at this. Cards on the table. There we go. 2 effect veilers, Breaker, Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of Power, and Spellbook of the Master. Let's see where he goes with this. He's got a lot of options open to him right now. And he has taken the first turn. He's going for the Spellbook Magician. Alain just says, yeah, that's fine. He knows that the Spellbook Magician is going to be normal summoned. And then there's the Spellbook Tower. Spellbook of the Master. Copying Spellbook of Secrets. Revealing the Tower. And again, it's Taariq making sure that he's giving the same information to his opponent without just revealing extra cards. Because you just don't need to. Some players in Spellbooks will reveal to you all these extra cards, and it's just free information that you don't need to give.
In the same vein, though, you can almost say, look what I've got.
Yeah, you can get into the mind games aspect of it. It really depends how you want to play. Personally, I would like to play my hand close to my chest and not give away any secrets. Okay, so we are seeing the hat deck again over from Alain. He's just summoned up a fire hand. He's going for the attack. Okay, Spellbook of Fate is going to be used here to turn the Spellbook Magician face down, which will allow him to search his deck for another spellbook, which is a pretty nice place to be. There he gets a Spellbook of Eternity. This is a really strong start for Taariq. As they shuffle up. Also in Alain's hand, in case you're interested, we have a Dimensional Prison, an Artifact Ignition, and a Chaos the Shadow Monarch. And 2 cards which I can't tell you what they are right now. Oh, it's a double Cyclone and a double Cyclone. Okay. A lot of spell and trap removal there. 3 cards on the field, and Alain passes the turn.
Again, we're seeing 2 very relevant deck types in the meta facing up each other again.
Yeah, the Artifact Ignition being chained to the effect of Spellbook Tower to deny Taariq that spellbook, that prophecy monster that he gets to summon from that. Down comes Breaker. Breaker the Magical Warrior, very old school card.
Still pretty good though.
He had a wonderful guest appearance on the YCS Sheffield mat. It's still one of my favourites. Okay. So it looks like Breaker's effect is being used.
And it's taken out a Dimensional Prison, which
yes.
is always a nice thing to hit.
Yeah,
It did attack the Fire Hand.
Of course, because both monsters have 1600 attack, it's outplaying the Fire Hand, denying it the power to get the Ice Hand. There's a 1600 attack is creates quite interesting situations against the Fire and Ice Hand. Well, more Fire Hand than Ice Hand. Okay, we've got another Grand Spellbook Tower coming down. And play comes back to Alain. He's drawn a Pot of Duality, which he's going to activate immediately. 2 wiretaps and a Ice Hand.
It's a clear pick, although he's thinking about it. But again, as we said last round, spellbooks of the round before, spellbooks don't really play that many traps, though wiretap is not an advantage for him.
Still, you can't let yourself be caught out on this level. You got everybody adding their own spins on stuff, and so before we know, Taariq is playing a ton of trap cards that we just haven't seen yet, which would be a surprise for me. But he opts for the Ice Hand to continue applying pressure to Taariq's cards that he's committed to the field.
Now that's a Caius the Shadow Monarch.
Yes.
Kind of very interesting play in hat.
It's the double Cyclone.
Ah, that's just a perfect play, double Cyclone.
To get the Artifact Morale Attack back onto the field.
And although he's not really getting use of the effect, the secondary effect is getting a rather large monster out on the field.
Yeah, 2100 is still a lot of attack points. Okay. It looks like a Breaker and a Spellbook of Power combination coming down. This puts Taariq in good position here, especially taking a look over at Alain's hand. He's got a Chaos Ice Hand, and I believe he still has a double Cyclone from earlier. And that Morale Attack has just been destroyed, allowing Taariq to search his deck for another Spellbook. We're looking at this. I'm setting up this game state, which favors me as quickly as possible. It's a different path every time, but right now we're seeing Taariq. He's trying to get that Spellbook Tower deployed, so he can keep getting access to his Spellbook of Fate, or just generally any answer that he needs. over Artifact Moraltech, which will... Okay, he elects not to... Oh, it's because of Break of the Magical Warrior.
Yeah, it's basically just saying, here, please destroy my face down, and looks like he has fell for it.
Yep. I think... I'll take a quick look at Taariq. Yeah, he's not going to be able to use these effect veilers because it's Taariq's turn right now. Okay, so it looks like...
Spellbook of Secrets has been activated.
Yep. Spellbook of Eternity coming down. We've got Temperance, which is going to be using her effect, and World of Prophecy.
Again, just an amazing card.
Yeah, especially when you don't draw it. It's a really weird card because you don't want to draw World of the Prophecy. You want to get it off these special summon effects.
And it always is the worst time when you draw that card and you know you can't put it back in your deck.
Yeah, there's never a good time. Okay, so we've got some damage coming in. And that is looking very, very good for Taariq. He's now got
his field back, essentially.
Yeah, he's got the World of the Prophecy, Grand Spellbook Tower, and Spellbook of Fate, so he's in this this ideal situation for him. Alain has a lot of cards. Here we go, Ice Hand. He's very aware that it's a Spellbook of Fate, as he saw the World of the Prophecy adding that back to his hand, so he's forcing that. We'll just see which cards get banished. Yep. Oh, it's an artifact monster that you may not be so familiar with if you've in Alain's hand, if you've seen the hat match up a few times. I'll just pull that up for you. Am I saying this right? Artifact Calcidus?
Possibly. That does look like Cacadus.
Cacadus? Yeah, this... Okay, yeah, he's scooping up his cards at this point. He sees that he's got no way. Taariq just eventually strong-arming that perfect situation.
The side deck.
Immediately, both, as you can see, look at Alain, how fast he's going straight for those cards. He
knows exactly what he's doing.
He's like, I've done this before.
Obviously, something he's...
Oh, see, Apprentice Magician. That's so awesome. I really like the Apprentice Magician. It's a old-time favourite. Both effect veilers coming out.
Didn't quite get to see what was sided in there, but he knew what he was doing as soon as he took those cards out of his side deck.
Yeah. Both of these players look prepared. The Dimensional Fissure is being hovered. Yep, Dimensional Fissure looks like it's coming in to stop those artifact morale attacks when they're in the spell and trap zone. And the Fire and Ice Hand. I don't know how I feel about that, actually, because then when I think about it, I don't know if I'm tricking myself thinking that we saw the double Cyclones coming out, so we know that Elaine's most likely not taking those out, seeing the Spellbook Towers, knowing he has to take them down.
Did he just take his effect veilers out?
Taariq did, yes.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the effects that he wants to stop are not activating when Effect Veiler can be used. Like the Artifact Morale Attack is activating during his turn when Effect Veiler can't be used. The Fire and Ice Hand's not particularly too bothered by Effect Veiler. So really your Effect Veiler is stopping Trap Trick's Melio.
This is true.
I don't really know if I want the Effect Veilers in my main deck to stop that card.
Want to say my favourite card in a hat deck has got to be Twister. Double Cyclone even.
Oh, Double Cyclone.
Yeah, Double Cyclone. That's the card. So simply because it's get rid of an opponent's card, bring out one of your artifacts.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a model tag. Basically, you're going to have wiped out one of their spell and trap and one of the monsters.
Yeah, it can lead to some really nasty, again, more disruption. I keep using this word disruption, but that's how you're playing this hat deck, is to just interrupt all of your opponent's plays. And Double Cyclone's just one of those where it's from bad to worse situations, because you watch your spell or trap taken out, and you're losing another one of your face-up cards to the artifact moral attack. But you do have occasional problems where you don't draw the artifacts with your double cyclones, and then you're just looking at a rather inefficient way of using Mystical Space Typhoon.
There is that, yeah.
But you can sacrifice a little for the potential gain. Some players are more than happy to take up and just say, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's going to happen, but right now this is good for me. Okay, we see them shuffling up. Oh wow, it's a Taariq, pure sign of trust there. Just says to Alain, I don't need to cut your deck. I believe that's fine.
It's not often you see that.
No, normally. I know by force of habit these days, if I'm shuffling my opponent's deck, I don't even think about it. We're going to start seeing the cards loading in to the player's hands, but we can see an Artifact Ignition, Call of Haunted, Pot of Duality, Double Cyclone, and I think that's Firehand. It's actually funny because I'm looking at his screen and I'm tilting my head like I'm trying to look around to see his cards, and obviously it doesn't work.
No, that would not work. It is a screen.
Using my magical giraffe neck powers. Is that a thing?
No.
Okay, it's not a thing.
Well, no, there is. I guess. If it's not, we can make it.
Okay, so we've got Pot of Duality, finding card D. Got 2 Pots of Duality, a Call of Haunted, a Firehand, an Artifact Ignition, and card D.
Essentially, all of the card draw. All of it.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna take a couple of turns to set up. The question is, who in this particular scenario can Taariq set up faster than Alain?
Now, what's Taariq got in his hand?
Taariq's got Break of the Magical Warrior, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, the Grand Spellbook Tower, Pot of Duality, and one card where I can't tell what it is. So I just appreciate how fast I'm talking there. I'll just
Yeah,
it back
slow down a little bit.
to slow down.
There's the Pot of Duality.
Yep. From
That,
Taariq? Yeah, the card D. Pot of Duality is a card that I love. This card, really.
it sees a lot of play.
It's the problem is with the I think it's when Windblast was added there. So many decks want to be using those special summons every turn, and at any stage in the mid to late game, giving up your special summon can just lead to disaster. Okay, so we've got a Spellbook Magician coming down for Taariq. Just have my favourite expression right here. For
He really does look like he's forgotten what he was doing.
yes, we've all been there. Let's see, he's now going. Taariq is now going for this setup. It looks like he already has the Grand Spellbook. Yeah, he already has a Grand Spellbook Tower in his hand. He has Phoenix Wing Blast as well, which is a good defensive card, or offensive. You can put your opponent in positions where, hey, putting this card back on top of your deck, you're drawing it again next turn, and I know it won't stop me. 2 Spellbooks and a Spellbook Magician. Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at Elaine's hand right now. It's Artifact Ignition.
Yep. Looks like there's just a bit of discussion.
It's Double Cyclone coming down. That's going to take out the Phoenix Wing Windblast and the Morale Attack. Then the Morale Attack will be special summoned.
And then it will take out
either the Tower or the Magician.
The Tower would be
most likely, but
there we go.
And there's going to be, this is going to allow Taariq to, well, check and see how many spellbooks he has. Grand Spellbook Tower's second ability is the, which lets him get a spellcaster. That's the Apprentice Magician.
and not been used in so long that Alain definitely just has to give it a little read.
Yeah, the Apprentice Magician puts spell counters on things when it's special summoned, but if it's destroyed by battle, he gets to search his deck for a level 2 or lower spellcaster and set that on the field, which the Spellbook Magician of the Prophecy is a level 2, and there's a couple of other options that he could go for, but I don't know if he's playing anything like Old Vindictive Magician.
Yeah. I think it's more because it's a level 2, and then he's going to be able to very easily make some rank 2 XE.
Okay, so we're seeing another Pot of Duality coming down for Alain. Artifact Ignition? Yep. Yes, Artifact Ignition is a very, very cool card. Allows you to get those artifacts set into your spell and trap zone for you to, which combos up very nice with the double cyclone. And it is a quick play, so it has just as much utility as Mystical Space Typhoon, and it does something for you because it's on theme. And it even punishes your opponent if they destroy it.
Which is fantastic.
Can't ask for much more in a support card, can you?
No.
Oh, Chaos the Shadow Monarch is coming down and is going to banish the Apprentice Magician. In case you haven't played years ago and seen this card,
who at one point was a format.
Yes, that this card was king. Okay, we're going to see some Call of the Haunted and Artifact Ignition set face down from Alain.
He's looking in a very, very good position at the moment. I mean, it really depends if he's going to...
Oh, we have the Breaker.
And the Breaker is hitting the Artifact Ignition.
Okay, that's going to cost Taariq his next battle phase. But at the same time, it stops Alain harassing the important spells and traps that Taariq... Well, important spells at this point. I've not seen any trap cards.
Now, Call of the Haunted has brought back Morale-Tac.
The Morale-Tac. Which, as it's in Taariq's turn, is going to trigger. And it's a concession.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty strong start from Taariq, but Alain had the answers.
Definitely. I mean, again, it's another one of those games where you feel they played game 1, and then all of a sudden gone, yeah, I know how your deck works.
Yeah.
But it may again be another situation in which it was just, this is how my side deck works. So
I didn't really see... I don't know what would have been sided in that case. It felt almost like that was Alain's normal main deck there.
What it was.
Well, it's hard to say, because Double Cyclone isn't a card I see very often, although we did see that in game 1, I believe. I can't remember.
I think we did.
Okay, so... Royal Decrees. So we just found out the trap card. Those look great on paper, but we are seeing Artifact Ignitions being played by Alain and Double Cyclones. So you've got to take a moment to think, am I going to be able to actually keep this Royal Decree up? It creates an ideal game state for Taariq if he stops Alain using all of his disruptive traps, but there's so much spell and trap destruction in Alain's deck. I don't know if this Royal Decree's really going to do anything.
I mean, realistically, there's probably going to be an Artifact Ignition that's just going to take it out, although he's now reconsidering putting both of them in.
Looks like he's taken one out. Jalgan the Spiritualist. How many of you sat down across that card last year when if you were at the WCQ or anywhere and wondering why? Why is this happening to me?
Just why?
Just why?
Why? Please.
Oh, that Jalgan. Okay, so we're going to start seeing the players shuffling up and getting ready for game 3. Should probably just create a giant Jalgan the Spiritualist and use it to terrorize people that played last format. It's following around the venue saying, "Remember.
Remember me." That was Taariq looking at all of you. Just
I'm sorry?
so you know that. Taariq just looked directly down camera there. I think he's the pressure's kind of getting to him.
He's looking for your support, but he's doing really well so far. He had a superb game one, and he strong-armed that strategy where he wants Spellbook of Fate and Tower going off for him as often as possible. And Alain, despite all of the artifacts and hand monsters, it just didn't work out.
That's 2 DD Crows in the opening hand.
Yeah, 2 DD Crows of Taariq. Only 1 Spellbook. It's a monster-heavy hand, which
is not good for Spellbook.
Spellbook's not particularly looking to have all monsters in its hand, but those DD Crows are very good against Artifact Morale. Oh wow. Alain is considering his hand there. It looks like he's left the wire taps in. I have to question this because he's not seen a single trap card played by Taariq.
Unless he's expecting a Royal Decree.
Oh, he could be next level. He could be. I know it's coming.
He's psychic.
He's like, I know he's going to slide the trap cards in. Yeah, you can just take a look at Alain's hand there. I'll just pull up Taariq's hand. Yep, we're going to be seeing. Yeah, we're probably going to be seeing. Okay, we know we're seeing something. I could take a guess, but again, I don't like to guess with spellbooks. Yep. World of the Prophecy in defense mode. That's a bit of forward thinking. Taariq is very aware that number 101 could take that card and attach it to itself as an Xyz material, and he doesn't want to give Alain any openings. He also just wants to deny fire and ice hand.
Hopefully, the staff member there manning Taariq's life points would remember that he's not on 0.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll notice when.
Yeah, Taariq actually has 8,000 life points.
Yes, just so everybody knows, he is not automatically lost.
Relay Soul. That's what's happening right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to see over to Alain.
There we go.
He's gone Pot of Duality. Artifact Sanctum.
Call of the Haunted.
Yeah, an ice hand, I think that is. He's taken a moment to consider this. As you can see from the cards in his hand, he's got quite a bit. Well, he's got 2 monsters out, but he can't summon either of those because they're level 5. The bottomless trap hole. This is the worst time to have it. Is after your opponent summons the big scary monster that you need to deal with.
Yeah, but it is the way that the world works.
Yeah, and there's Artifact Sanctum. Both Artifact Sanctums are very strong for Alain here, and he's going to be leaning on those pretty hard, especially since he's got the Bieltak and I'm sorry, it's Caducus there, so
possibly.
That's set 5 and go. Taariq shaking his head there. He's thinking Alain's side decked into Chainburn or something. Okay, so Spellbook Library of the Crescent coming down for Taariq. This card also plays mind games on your opponent because I don't actually see what you add to your hand.
No.
So you know what options your opponent had available to them, but you don't know which one they ended up with. And you get people that, if they've got quite a few cards in their hand and they're pretty comfortable with what they're doing with their flow, can add cards in there that they already have a copy of, just to psych the opponent out. So they really have no idea what's going on with this. You're giving away limited information. Okay, so Taariq's even hiding the contents of these cards away from himself. It's Spellbook of Secrets added to his hand, which will allow him to search for. Yeah, he has not shuffled his deck.
It's because he's playing that.
Yeah, Alain, he told Alain that he's going to play Spellbook of Secrets, and he's let that go. Spellbook of Master.
The secrets? Oh no, Master, of course.
Yeah,
copying
Master
secrets.
Copying Secrets. Can only use 1 secret per turn. Keep an eye out for that. The Spellbook deck you can get lost in a flurry of searches and forget which one you've used. If you're looking at that set 5 go, that's what it looks like in modern day times.
Judge over there just reminding him to resolve the cost of Spellbook Master.
Okay. We're seeing Spellbook of Fate. And a Breaker comes down for Taariq. I'd say Taariq's been very brave this game. He's just going with those breakers, and he's just not worried about anything.
He gets 5 back row.
And he's just, and he knows his opponent's playing artifacts, but he's got those DD Crows, so he's prepared for hitting the morale tax. That must be why he's feeling pretty safe. But we do see 2 face down. No, it's just a single artifact sanctum face down, and 1 in hand of Alain. The odds are pretty good that this is going to be a successful breaker, although if he destroys the wiretap, I don't feel he gains anything from that. Again, not seeing any trap cards apart from Royal Decree.
Let's just see what he hits here. And he's activating the effect.
He's going for it.
And
he hits the wiretap. I think that's the best outcome for Alain, to be honest. Although Alain's unaware that there's 2 DD Crows in Taariq's hand, the wiretap that's not doing anything for him.
Definitely the card not to keep.
Yeah. And if for the Spellbook enthusiasts here, this is what we're looking at in Taariq's hand. That Spellbook of Wisdom means he's going to be pretty comfortable attacking through if his opponent's playing reactive trap cards like Mirror Force or Torrential Tribute. But we didn't see a Torrential Tribute.
Alain seems to be taking both.
There's a bit of banter going on between the two.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage that's being put out.
Oh yeah, he takes both the attacks here.
He's on 3,500 left. I mean,
that's the Artifact Sanctum in the end phase?
It looks like it's in the end phase, just to make sure that he can't play any of those cards he's just set. He thinks it's safe, but he's going to have the DD Crows. In fact, he has 2, which is even better.
It's this is where he's going to punish this Bieltak play. Artifact Bieltak has been summoned off the Artifact Sanctum to try and destroy the 2 artifact monsters on the field. Probably going to see the... Well, let's not assume. It's a Spellbook player. So
yeah.
I'll let him make the play, and we'll see if it lines up with what I'm thinking. Taking a moment to have a quick read of that.
I think here comes down the first DD Crow.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
Really considering it.
Oh, he's setting up the chain. There's DD Crow. Oh, he's using both.
Crow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I think Alain's probably not very happy at this at the moment.
Well, you don't expect to resolve your Bieltak and watch both of your guys disappear.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, wait, what? What just happened? We didn't see that bottomless trap pole used on Breaker earlier.
I think he was expecting him to possibly hit one of his artifacts.
Okay. We've got a large field commitment here from Taariq.
The Breaker.
It's just like
bottomless trap hole it.
Yeah,
Is he gonna bother?
We'll see. Yeah, that's Breaker. Wow, Breaker really putting the work in here. Oh, there's a Spellbook of Wisdom. Oh, is there a chance that Spellbook of Wisdom was revealed to Alain earlier?
It was, yes.
Ah, that would be why he probably didn't back bottomless trap hole. Because he knew that his opponent was going to be able to stop that and destroy another one of his cards. Artifact Sanctum being used. If you're in the player's seat, this information is the sorts of things that you need to be remembering if you want to be successful in these high-level tournaments. Is when you have information. First of all, remembering it. I'm a nightmare for going. Wait, what did you just show me? That was kind of important. Artifact Morale Tack. Oh. And he's got no cards in hand.
And again, refusing the offer to cut.
Yeah, he's just very, very trusting guy, this
Yeah.
Taariq. I like this. It's very, very sportsman. He puts the Moraltak in attack mode. And this now creates, to me, okay. I can't tell you what his last face down card is on Alain's field. He's taken out the World of the Prophecy, and he's left the. I believe that's what's happening. Yeah.
And he's attacking the breaker by the sound of it.
Okay. I think they're just confirming something with the judge.
Just a slight ruling.
Yeah. Even that, I'm just happy to say hello to you guys for a moment. We're having so much fun.
It's a sudden entrance from our judge. Just explaining the situation.
Okay. Because Breaker's used to destroy Artifact Sanctum. Is that right? No, I'm not entirely sure what happened.
What actually happened then, yeah.
Moving on. Moving on.
Anyway, we still have 2 breakers, so...
The Moraltak's in attack mode, but even the position of your monsters in this metagame matters massively in influencing your opponent's decisions. Whereas before, if you normally see a defense monster, it implies that your opponent is in a weaker position. At this point, you've got so many more monsters that you need to be aware of. I think Taariq misread the artifact Yaltak and just attacked straight into it. Defense mode. Such a generous guy. He doesn't cut the deck, and he takes some damage.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? You're a pretty cool guy. I'm just gonna make sure that I'll take some damage for you, and don't worry about it. You shuffle your deck.
Yeah, it's all good.
You can shuffle my deck as well. We're all cool. Now he's really considering his options there.
Yeah.
He's thinking Honor Arc or Downer Magician?
Downer Magician. I'll bring that one up for you. You normally don't see that one Exceed summoned on its own. It's normally used to upgrade one of your smaller rank monsters. And it's the tribute summon for Chaos. Spellbook of Fate.
We move 3 spellbooks to
yeah.
He's just discussing whether the effect still happens.
Yeah. He's we're taking the Moraltak out, and
he's attacking directly.
Yeah, Taariq's taking some damage, and all of a sudden you see the field is the score has been evened up.
Tables have been turned.
Okay, they're just discussing life points right now.
Judge is just going to intervene there to help with the life point tracks.
Yeah. I've got to be careful with that that information right there he's holding in his hand.
Yeah.
I think it's just a confirmation of life points. Spellbook Magician. kind of feel like this is starting to roll away from Taariq right now. His daring plays have just started to backfire a little bit. I mean, it's pretty daring to run that breaker in, but Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Oh, that's this is essentially taking Alain's entire next turn away from him, because he's going to have to redraw this tribute monster and has no monster to tribute summon.
Now, what's his set card there?
Unfortunately, that's we didn't catch what that was.
Ah, I see.
I'll tell you
what that is, and he's ended his turn.
Draws and passes. Magician getting in there with a small 500 damage. I think we just saw a High Priestess
of Prophecy.
Yeah, High Priestess of Prophecy. Not so good when he's running out of cards, but for you guys, we'll just pull that one up anyway. We saw her putting the work in earlier today. I think it was round 2.
Yeah, spellbooks were in round 2. Quite a few of her was actually played.
Yeah, it was 2 copies that were just overwhelming. Okay, so the Spellbook of Secrets is played. Okay, just pull back. Got 2 Spellbook Magicians. And Spellbook of Life. Oh, this is
and there's Herald of Pure Light.
Yeah, he's got the High Priestess in his hand. Oh, he doesn't have another spellbook in his hand, so he's going for the Herald of Pure Light to I'll pull this one up for you guys. Herald of Pure Light to add a card back to his hand. I really like Herald of the Pure Light. It's a pretty cool card, especially something to do with those level 2 prophecy monsters.
Definitely.
Spellbook Magicians, even. Well, that is.
Or an Apprentice Magician.
Yeah. Any level 2 spellcasters, you can turn them into cards that you want to reuse. Taariq
may have the ability to.
Taariq actually should be able to win this turn, but he doesn't know what Alain has. He knows he has a Chaos the Shadow Monarch. There's one unknown card on the field and an artifact morale attack. Obviously, this is information that we have. That
to be honest,
Taariq
it's not even information that we have.
Well, we've got one.
If that other card is anything that stops attacks, then we'll see.
Spellbook of Life, revealing a Spellbook of Wisdom. It's double Cyclone in response. Here we go.
That's the card.
And it's going to
Moral attack.
Moral attack, and that's going to take out another card. Oh, this is really bad for Taariq.
Not as bad as you'd think. I mean, in his hand he does have a Temperance.
He has Temperance, but he's used his normal summon for the turn, so he has to pass play.
This could go either way.
Wow.
We just now have the Caius to be able to play. What was the...
Get your game on. It's Cyber Dragon.
Wow. Wow, okay. It's very interesting. Oh, well, we can't quite see that.
Yeah. He can't use this Cyber Dragon right now, because he's controlling a monster. You might see the chaos. Well, let's see. Okay, it's just going for the attack. We've got a Temperance Magician and a Spellbook of Wisdom for Taariq to fight back with. And the life points are whittling away. We're coming into the final stages of this match.
And he draws a card and plays it. Let's see what that was.
It's Temperance that he's... Was that Temperance he played?
I'm not quite sure.
Bear with me 1 second. I'll just...
Yeah, no, it was not.
Oh, there's a handshake. Yeah, it was Temperance of the Prophecies.
Yeah.
Spellbook of Wisdom. Of course, Temperance is then going to search for any big spellcaster, and he's just going to take out the morale attack and attack for game directly.
And that's it. That's all she wrote.
Taariq, I'll be honest, played that one on a razor's edge on that last game. I felt like he took a lot of risks there. He was in a comfortable position, and then it just sort of a few risky decisions, and he almost gave that match away.
Yeah, he did. I mean, there was certain things that he could have done. Silent Underarc may have been a good play at that point
to take the morale attack away.
Yeah, and then he had a monster that could run over the one that's in defense position, and then there would have been no advantage to be able to do that, to be able to bring out that monster.
Yeah, well, the BL attack has 2,400 defense points, so the number 101 wouldn't actually be able to deal with it.
It is,
but even then, that would be a little bit better than running your breaker into a defense monster.
Defense monster and taking damage. Yeah.
Guys, read your opponent's cards. You're allowed to.
Definitely read your opponent's cards.
Very, very important. The last thing you want to do is attack into it, then find out what it does later.
That is usually the best thing to do. Although it was quite nice to see a player that didn't want to shuffle their opponent's deck.
So sportsmanlike. We don't. He was just so trusting. Very, very happy. Seemed to be having a great time playing that, and he progresses with a 4-0 record. Doing South Africa very proud.
Very, very proud. He is doing extremely well. Yes. Extremely, and it's nice to see spellbooks.
I'm happy to see we're seeing quite a bit of that actually. I don't know if we're seeing a skewed perspective up here, but spellbook seems to be everyone was talking about Girga and the hat deck, and we're seeing success from spellbooks.
It's really nice to see.
And I love the deck. It's just so great when everyone's playing. You've got, as we saw from the Italian National Championships, up to 3 7 tools, 3 wiretaps being used, and just saying, I'm not going to play trap cards.
Yeah, that's usually, but everybody's playing against this, so I'm just not going to play it.
Yeah,
it's usually the best thing. It's very anti-meta, which is weird coming to say that we're speaking about spellbooks being anti-meta.
Yeah, if you consider last year, Spellbook Judgment, a bunch of cards, Jalgan.
Yeah.
And Jalgan is actually in Taariq's deck. If we see Jalgan in the final tables again tomorrow, that to me, that'll just be...
That's going to be scary for a lot of people.
Flashbacks.
Yeah,
waking up in a cold sweat saying...
The flashbacks. Jalgan, why? Why you do this to me? Yes, we will be seeing a lot of that.
What was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, just Jalgan taking all your hopes and dreams away from you.
Definitely. But yes, it will be nice to see Spellbook back in there. I mean, if you think about it, if you were to put last Europeans next to this one, it would be quite boring because then you'd see the same decks. But it would. It's quite good. Now, it does look like.
Yep, we're getting our notice.
Yep, we're going to have to wrap that up for this round. Basically, just to I believe it's to essentially chop the round up so that people can watch them later as well. I think is one of the reasons why we are ending the rounds and taking it down essentially, so we can do that. So yes, that is
round 4, guys.
Everything for now. Round 4. Taariq versus Alain Lee.
We'll see you next time.
See you next round.